This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
This YCN Sports Wrap special is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. Hey, welcome back to this special episode of YCN Sports Wrap, focusing completely on this year's 2017 football team from Plymouth, New Hampshire. So before the break, we saw how the second-seeded Bobcats and the 8th-seeded Bow Falcons made it all the way back to the Division II championship game for the second consecutive year. Plymouth came into this contest the defending champs and hadn't lost a game all season, but the Falcons had already taken down two undefeated teams en route to this matchup, so another exciting contest was expected. So now without further ado, let's jump right into the D2 title action between second-seeded Plymouth and 8th-seeded Bow. Since moving up from Division III to Division II in 2016, Bow has played Plymouth 3 times, with the Bobcats winning every matchup. So both squads had something to prove during their fourth meeting in 2 seasons. The game started off with Bow kicking to Plymouth's return man Owen Brickley. He ran the ball back around a couple Falcon defenders, and then up the left sideline to his team's 45-yard line. During this drive, the Bobcats were immediately faced with 2 fourth downs, converting the first with senior running back Garrett Maycumber picking up a big gain, but failing on the second, as Bow took over on their own 31-yard line. Plymouth's defense, however, stepped up and managed to force their own turnover, but this time it was the old-fashioned way, as Bow punted to the Cats' 29-yard line. On 3rd and 7, senior quarterback Ben Olmsted passed to Wesley Lambert for 49 yards, as it appeared the Bobcats would score the game's first points. But 2 plays later, Olmsted's attempted handoff appeared to deflect off of blocking Maycumber, and then the ball was dropped on the transfer to senior running back Nolan Farina. Bow recovered at their own 16. The Falcons managed just 1 first down with senior Jack Corvo moving the ball. Once again, Plymouth forced a punt and took over at their own 37 as the first quarter came to a close. The score remained 0-0. To start off the second, Farina and Maycumber ran for first downs as the Bobcats started to gain momentum. On 3rd and 6, Olmsted found Farina past the Falcons secondary, and he ran 59 yards for the touchdown. Carey's extra point attempt was good, as Plymouth took a 7-0 lead with 11:02 left in the quarter. Bow then began a drive at their 27. Corvu and quarterback Matt Harkins were both unsuccessful moving the ball, as Colby Moore, Connor McGowan, Isaiah Crane, and others made big stops on Plymouth's defense, forcing a 3-and-out. Plymouth took over at their own 39-yard line and moved the ball all the way to Bow's 17, with McGowan getting multiple touches for decent gains. On 3rd and 8, however, Olmsted was picked off by Jack Wixon in the end zone, which resulted in a touchback. A personal foul penalty put Bow at their own 35-yard line. On the very next play, Harkins threw his own interception. Bobcats defender Isaiah Crane made a spectacular one-handed grab, giving his team back the ball. With Plymouth now on their own 31-yard line, Maycumber took a handoff and went up the middle, blasting by multiple Bow defenders for a 69-yard score. Another Carey extra point was good, and Plymouth went up 14-0 with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. The Bobcats continued to put the pressure on Bow, and head coach Chris Sanborn called for an onside kick that was successfully recovered by Moore at the 50-yard line. The Falcons just couldn't afford to let up any more points, so their defense held strong, forcing the defending champs to punt. Bow's next drive featured 13 plays, mostly with Harkins passing or rushing for solid gains. 3 straight incompletions and an intentional grounding penalty caused the drive to stall out midfield. Once the Bobcats got the ball back, Olmsted was able to make another big play through the air. This time the ball went to Jordan Dosen, who fought past past the defender to haul in a 53-yard touchdown. The extra point missed, but the Bobcats took a big 20-0 lead going into halftime. Once out of the break, the Falcons received the kickoff and drove all the way to Plymouth's 16-yard line, with Corvo picking up most of the yards on the ground. The drive would stall out though when the Bobcats secondary stayed with their men and made big stops. Both teams then traded possessions and punts, as points were hard to come by. To close out the third quarter, Maycomber ran for 13 yards, putting the Cats on Bo's 21-yard line. A few more rushing plays and a holding penalty against Bo set up a 5-yard rushing score from Moore, as Plymouth took a 27-0 lead with just over 9 minutes left in the final quarter of the season. The Falcons' offense still could not pick up yardage, as the defending champs, now with a 4-score lead, forced another quick 3 and out. Plymouth, playing conservatively, stuck to the ground to take time off the clock, which resulted in another Bo possession. The Falcons still held off the scoreboard, managed to march down the field with 5 minutes left. Harkins picked up big plays on 4th down, and through the air he eventually found sophomore back Steve Guaret for a 23-yard touchdown. A successful 2-point conversion gave the 8th-seeded Hawks 8 points with just over a minute remaining. By the time the last few seconds ticked away, the Plymouth High School Bobcats were Division II state champions for the second consecutive season. This year, the victory was much less nerve-wracking, as Plymouth won with a final score of 27-8. Plymouth's offense was very effective, totaling 394 yards, and their defense was just as solid, only allowing 189 positive yards from Bo. Bobcats quarterback Olmsted went 4 for 9 through the air with 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Running back Maycomber ran 18 times for a total of 153 yards and his own touchdown, while McGowan ran 10 times for 63 yards. Farina and Dosen each hauled in big touchdown catches for 53 and 59 yards. Isaiah Crane led his team with 8 tackles and 1 interception, and Lambert, Maycomber, and McGowan each tackled 5. This win marked the 16th state football championship for Plymouth in the last 23 years, as the program continues to be a top contender year after year. Congratulations to the Plymouth Bobcats on another championship. Many seniors will graduate from this year's squad, but winning 13 titles in 17 years is no small accomplishment and will be remembered for some time. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when this special episode of YCN Sports Wrap returns, we'll be taking a look at our Player of the Week award winner, brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery. We'll also be hearing from a number of other Plymouth players who played a huge role in their team's championship season. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.